Good morning again. Welcome to Super Coaching IAS by Testbook. This is your faculty Venkatesh, where I'll be discussing about all the things associated with geography. And in this session, today, we'll be discussing about a very important topic by name plate tectonics. Plate tectonics. So if you see this plate tectonics, it has a very huge role to play. I think you all might have heard about this, listened about it is. Then what are the things which you associate with plate tectonics? What are the things which you get, which you remember? Anyone? See, what is this idea is about? I think if you see the planet Earth, you can see that the first thing you see is this, right? Imagine we all are aliens. We are coming from outside world. The first thing you see about the planet Earth is this, no? It is surrounded by more water. That's why it is called as what? Blue planet. Then you will see what? Continents and oceans. Of course, if you have watched a Hollywood movie, then obviously the first alien attack will happen in USA somehow, right? But in general, they can target any continent, right? Okay, moving jokes apart. So as I was saying that, the first thing you observe about planet Earth is about the continents and the oceans. If it is continents and oceans, why do you think the continents and oceans are placed in this way? Why do you think that the present world map which you see is about in this structure? Why India is here? Why North America is far away? Why Australia is far away? Why there are island arcs like Indonesian archipelago here, Japanese archipelago, Philippines archipelago? What is the reason for their location? How do you try to understand it? This is the base. So as I was trying to tell you, the first thing query about geography, the things which you will ask, which you can ask about the planet Earth is, what is the present distribution of present distributions of the first order landforms, that is continents and oceans. This is the first query. I think you all have this branch of geography which is part of this topic, geomorphology. What is geomorphology here? What is geomorphology? Anyone? Okay, just a minute. Yeah. So if you see what is geomorphology, anyone can explain in the comment section? Geo means what? Earth. Morpho means what? Form. Logy means study, description. We are talking about descriptions of the form or the shape of the earth. In other words, geomorphology is nothing but study of landforms. What is that? Study of landforms. If it is study of landforms, the first landform which you find on the planet Earth is continent and the ocean. If you see the earth, the form of the earth, the first thing you will observe is continent and ocean. That is what we are trying to understand. What is the explanation for distributions of continent and oceans? Have you heard about this theory called as continental drift? You might have heard about it. Continental drift theory. They say that initially all the continents were together, a big ocean, big landmass called as Pangaea, surrounded by big ocean called Panthalassa, and they have drifted apart, they have moved away. What is the reason for that movement is what plate tectonics will help us in understanding. The idea of continental drift, when it was provided, it was more or less, it is right that yes, continents were drifted, but why? There is no concrete answer from continental drift theory which was provided by Alfred Wegener, right? Because of that, then with understanding of technology, with the understanding of more knowledge, with sophisticated equipments of technology. During the World War, that was the idea of continental drift. So, the continental drift theory, it has said that the whole world was together once, later on it got drifted, and they have given some evidences which said that it is right. But this idea which was given by Alfred Wegener, the Alfred Wegener concept of continental drift, it was given around 1912. The idea was successful. Of course, even before that also continental drift idea was postulated, but Alfred Wegener is the one who studied more in detail. When he studied more in detail, he said about the right reasons, but why they have occurred, that he was not right. So, he said that he has gave some evidences like fossils which are found in South America, Africa, Australia are one and the same. That indicates that once upon a time they were together. Those things are good, but the problem is it comes with why they have drifted. It could not answer. Then after 1912, during World War I and World War II, one of the things which happened was you have started mapping the ocean floor. You have observed the oceanic floor in detail. There was a telegraph line between North America and Europe, that is Britain. All these things have led to understanding the bottom topography of the ocean. What is that? The bottom topography of the ocean. As you have understood about the bottom topography of the oceans, you came to know about something called as mid-oceanic ridge. You came to know about new concepts associated with the ocean, where there is a concept called as sea floor spreading. What is that? Sea floor spreading. So, if you see the concept of sea floor spreading, the concept says that if you have been to an airport, you can see a conveyor belt, conveyor belt which transports all our luggage. Luggage will be travelled by a conveyor belt which will take it apart. Just like that, the concept of sea floor spreading says that underneath it you have the ocean, the oceanic seabed and all. You will find that seabed is being transported. If you see, there is a mid-oceanic ridge here, which we will discuss further in the videos. There is a mid-oceanic ridge. From here, all the rocks, as you imagine that there is rock 1, rock 2, rock 3, rock 4 here. Similarly, rock 1, rock 2, rock 3, rock 4 here. What will happen is, the rocks of same age are found in both sides. So, all these are of similar ages. This has indicated that the rocks are of similar age. That means new rocks are created here. This is a new rock and this is the old rock. This is true on either side. What explains that? That is what the conveyor belt concept says. According to this concept of seafloor spreading, the oceans are spreading. You can see this. You can see the oceans are spreading apart. There is a mid-oceanic ridge, as you can see here, and the ocean is moving apart. New crust is created. So, when you talk about this, so they have, according to them, they said that this is where you will find the new crust, and this new crust will be nearer to it. So, just like this acts like a mirror, as you move away from either side, you will find rocks of same age. That was the concept which was given between the 1912 and 1950. You have mapped the ocean floor. So, why do you think this concept was given? Because after 1912, with the telegraph line connectivity and all those kind of things, you have mapped the sea floor. So, the mapping of sea floor, what is that? Mapping of sea floor has led to a concept called sea floor spreading. With all these ideas and all, in 1960s, there is a concept which was given by a group of people together, not one person. It is not a work of a single person. The plate tectonics, it is a concept given by multiple people, where they will try to explain why there is a distribution of continents and oceans in this way, why North America is here, why Greenland is here, why there are island arcs like Indonesia here, why it has tried to explain that. Not just that, it also has tried to explain the mighty reason for the location of mountains. You have the mighty Himalayas only located of India's location here, right? You can see here Himalayas located here. For example, you can see why the Himalayas are located here, as you can see in the laser point. You can also try to understand why Andes mountains are located all along the boundary here like this. You can see here why the Andes mountains is located all along the boundary of South America. That question. So, we are trying to explain not just the distributions of oceans and continents with plate tectonics, it also explains the formations of mighty mountains like Himalayas. As I told you, geography is all about what? Where are they located, why are they located, and how do they have an impact? We are talking about where and why now. Not just that, it will also express various geological processes like volcanoes. You all might hear this famous thing, ring of fire, the Pacific Ocean's ring of fire, where 80% of the Earth's volcanoes are located along this ring, right? The ring of fire. So, all these are volcanic belt. This is the volcanic belt. Majority of the earthquakes occur along the lines you can see here, the dotted lines, the red color, the green color and yellow color, as you can see here. These are the centers of earthquakes. What explains that? Why are they located there? That is the idea given by plate tectonics. So, what is this plate tectonics is all about? So, it is a paradigmatic model. So, what is that? It is a model, paradigmatic model, which explaining the what? The first one, distributions of oceans and continents. So, how do you introduce plate tectonics? This is what? It is a model explaining the distributions of oceans and continents. It is a model explaining about the formations of fold mountains. It is a model which explains about the geological processes, like earthquakes, volcanoes, as well as the things like trenches, the concepts of mid-oceanic ridge. Yeah, what is the deepest portion of the earth? Mariana Trench, 11,034 meters. Why are they located there? What is the reason? Plate tectonics will explain. So, they have tried to study about the reasons for distributions of oceans and continents. In process, they also explained about how the mountain building is happening across the world, especially the fold mountains, especially the geological processes of earthquakes and volcanoes, the trenches, mid-oceanic ridges and all the things. This is the beauty of plate tectonics. I hope you are able to follow. This is the thing. Now you see the picture. So, if you see the thing, this is what is all about. It is about earthquakes, it is about volcanoes, it is about mountains, it is about the distributions of oceans and continents. Then, what is this theory says? According to this theory, it says that the whole world is divided into many plates. For example, okay, let me go here. Yeah. For example, this theory says that, imagine this is the block of the earth, okay. It is not an ice cream cone. Imagine this is the center of the earth and this is the surface of the earth. Now, when you identify that, so let me show you with another color. Yeah. Okay. So, if you see this, each part of the earth okay. So, now each part of the earth is divided into many blocks of the earth. You can see this is a block. The whole earth is divided into many blocks, and each block floats in the asthenosphere. What is this zone? Zone of asthenosphere. I think you all have the magma and all. So, the asthenosphere, which is the zone of the upper mantle. So, each block, the whole earth is divided into many blocks, and each block is what we call it as a plate, and this plate floats in the asthenosphere. And exactly at the boundaries, you will find about all the variations of the plate tectonics. If you see this, the whole world is divided into many plates like this. This is one plate, African plate. Say, this is one plate of Africa, this is Eurasian plate, this is around say American plate of North America, South American plate, Pacific plate, Antarctic plate, and Indo-Australian plate is 7. And there are any minor plates, for example, Philippine plate, the Nazca plate, the Juan de Fuca plate, Caucasus plate, the Arabian plate, all these are minor plates. So, the whole world is divided into many plates. There are around 7 major plates. There are around 7 major plates and 20 minor plates. There is unanimity about major plates, but there is no unanimity about minor plates. Some of the geographers will say that their minor plates are only this many, minor plates are not this many, they are more than that and all, but major plates are accepted it. So, what is this theory is about? Now, you got a basic idea what is the assumption of what you say, what is the or objective of this theory. The objective of this theory is trying to explain about all these things, mountain building, distributions of earth and how do they explain? That is their postulates. What is the first postulate as I told you right now? The first postulate is, have you heard about this word lithosphere? Lithosphere. Litho means what? Rock. Rock sphere. So, rock sphere means the surface and as well as the upper mantle. So, lithosphere actually means the first 100 kilometers, the 100 kilometers from the earth's surface. What are the postulates about this theory is what in this? There are some assumptions which are given by this theory. There are some ideas which given. The first idea they said is lithosphere is the first 100 kilometers from the surface. This lithosphere is divided into many parts. As you can see just now I have told you, the earth's surface or the lithosphere is divided into many parts. Each part is what we call it as a plate. Divided into many parts, each part is what we call it as a plate. This lithosphere is hard, old, but it is also brittle. Achha, how can I put both the words hard and the brittle in the same line? It is hard enough, but it is not that hard that it cannot be broken. So, it can be easily moved. So, that is the brittleness. And this lithosphere, what does it do? It floats in the asthenosphere. Floats in the asthenosphere. So, have you seen an ice which is moving in the Antarctic region or in the Arctic region, how that ice moves along the water? It is a bulk of solid thing which is moving in the liquid, no? Not quickly, but a very, very slow pace, something like that. The lithosphere is also moving in the asthenosphere. And when you talk about this lithosphere, okay, it could be completely oceanic. It could be what? Completely oceanic, completely continent, or mix of both, or mix of both. So this is this another thing, completely oceanic, continent, or mix of both. Then not just that. So what this theory says is, imagine this is a continent, this is an ocean, this is another continent, this is another ocean. Imagine, okay, this is where you will find the asthenosphere. Asthenosphere. So what is this? This is continent, this is ocean, this is continent, this is ocean. Now, the lithosphere plate which I am talking about, that plate can be completely continental. Say imagine that there is a boundary here. This is a boundary. Now this boundary is in the continent. This portion is completely continent and it is mix of both. Now the next boundary is here. Imagine this is the boundary and this is the third boundary. Now you see here, this is one boundary, one plate. If you talk about this plate, it is only continental. It is continent. This plate is continent as well as ocean. Continent and ocean. This is also ocean and continent. This is only ocean. You see? So a plate boundary can be completely oceanic, can be mix of continent and ocean as you can see here, or it could be only continent. That's what the idea is. Okay. Now you see this picture again. You see here. You see here. This is a almost I can say that this is a completely a majorly a continent. You can see this is completely an ocean plate. This South American plate, here it is continent, here it is ocean. So you will find mix of that. And these plates, what is the next concept which we need to tell you is, when these plates are there, these plates can move towards each other. What is that? Move towards each other. These plates can move away from each other. Away from each other, or they can slide past one another. Slide past one another. Say, for example, something like this. Two plates moving towards each other, moving away from each other, or sliding past one another, right? So there is this kind of things. Now each dimension is called as one plate. Say moving towards each other, we call it as the convergent plate boundary. This is what we call it as convergent boundary. This is what we call it as divergent boundary. Divergent. And this is what we call it as transform plate. Transform plate. Convergent, divergent, transform. So this is the postulate of this theory. And what this theory says is, exactly at these boundaries, what does the theory says? Exactly at these boundaries, you will find all the major geological phenomena. That is what the theory says. For example, you can see here, when two plates move about towards each other, move away from each other, right, that is when you will find that oceanic floor spreads. What is happening here? As the two plates move to each other, the magma rises, and here you will find volcanoes continuously. Now that is explained by the plate tectonics, the divergent boundary. When two plates move towards each other, as you can see here, one of the plate goes beneath the other, and this is where you will find that the trenches. You can see the trench. You can talk about the trenches. There are island arcs here. This is where you will find when two plates move towards each other. When two plates move away from each other, you will find the mid-oceanic ridges. You will find earthquakes. What if this happens on the land? This is where you will find the volcanic mountains and fold mountains together. Say the Andes mountains. Now you see this thing. You see here, these plates are moving towards each other, South America and Nazca plate. And this is where you will find the Andes mountains continuous stretch like this. When the continental collision is happening, this is where you will find the mighty fold mountains. Why do you think that Himalayas are the loftiest things of the world? What is the reason for that? Because it is a continent collision. If it is an ocean collision, one variety. So what we are trying to say is, as per this theory, all the major geological phenomena, the things which I have explained right now, are observed at the plate boundaries. It is at the plate boundaries where all these things were happening. That is the idea of the plate tectonics. This is the base of our understanding. Okay? All the geological phenomena are observed at the plate boundaries. The earthquakes, the trenches, the loftiest mountains like Himalayas, Andes, the loftiest, it is not the loftiest, but I can say it is one of the longest range of mountains in a continuous stretch. They are almost around, Himalayas are only around 2,400 kilometers stretch, whereas they are almost around 6,000 kilometers, very huge. So that explains, all these things are explained by plate tectonics. That is the beauty of this concept. I hope you have understood this, right? So what is the idea of the plate tectonics? The first lithosphere is the first 100 kilometers. It is divided into many parts, where each part is called as a plate. As you can see this is the plate, right? And these plates floats in the asthenosphere, and they can be completely continental, completely oceanic, or a mix of both that. And these plates move towards each other, which we call it as convergent plate, move away from each other, which we call it as divergent plate, slide past another, which we call it as transform plate. And because of all these things, all the major geological phenomena will occur at the plate boundaries. That is the concept. Then you should ask me a question, why do you think the plates are moving? Why do you think the plates are moving? That is the next question, right? So if you see this, the plates are moving because of a convective currents of magma which are found in the asthenosphere. This is a theoretical or a graphical representation of how it is moving. Why are they moving? I will explain. For example, if you see here, imagine within here the asthenosphere. Within that there are different, the yellow color which I am drawing right now on the things. Imagine that there is some kind of radioactive concentration. What is that? Radioactive concentration of material. when you have this radioactive concentration of materials, what will happen? Radioactive concentration, there will be differences of temperature. See, already the interior of the earth is quite hot. At the same time, the presence of radioactive materials, that will be increasing its hotness, or the increasing the what you say, the temperatures would be much more high. So, overall there will be differences of temperature within the asthenosphere, that will lead to convective currents. What I am trying to say, that will lead to what? Convective currents. So, within the plate boundary, if this is one plate, this is another plate, this is another plate and all. Imagine this is the plate boundaries. There might be convective currents where there is a rising limb of the oceanic current which will drift apart, or sometimes the convective currents will move like this. Now, what is happening? You can see here the convective current is rising here and moving away, and this will make the plate boundary to be what? Divergent plate. Then here what is happening? The two plates are moving towards each other. Why? Because the convective currents underneath it are moving towards each other. So, here you will find the convergent plate boundary. So, what is the reason for the movement of the plate? Because if this is the plate, imagine this is the plate, and underneath it the currents are moving either towards, the currents are moving like this, or they are moving like this. So, if the current is moving away, the divergent plate; if the current moving is towards, then there is a convergent. So, this is what you call ascending limb, this is what you call descending limb. So, if the convective currents are ascending, then they diverge. If the convective currents are descending, then they converge at the point of the plate. That is where the plates are either moving towards each other or away from each other. Now, you see the graphical representation. You see here, there is a rising limb, and here where you will find the divergence. You will see that here where you will find volcano will be slowly forming here. You can see here, there is a rising limb, and here you will find the divergent plate boundary. And you can see here, there is a descending limb. This is where you will find the convergent plate boundary, convergent. At these convergence only, you will find all the events. So, for example, the earthquakes, the volcanoes are both the places, earthquakes are at both the places, the island arcs, all you will be discussing about these things. So, what is the reason for the plate tectonics? This is the things. So, now how do plate tectonics concept has evolved? Now you understand it. So, if you talk about all these things, first there is an idea which was given by continental drift. Then there was an idea which was given then during the World War I and World War II. There is significant amount of mapping of the ocean floor. What is that? Mapping of ocean floor, mapping of the ocean bottom, mapping of the ocean bottom. As you have bottom, the mapping of the ocean bottom was done, you have found multiple things like rocks of similar age are found from the mid-oceanic ridges and all. That led to, that is what the concept is called as sea floor spreading, sea floor spreading, SFS. Harry Hess is the geomorphologist who has studied about the sea floor spreading, and with this sea floor spreading and also the convective currents of the magma, which I have told you right now, all these three things together has led to development of a new idea, that is what is the plate tectonics. Many of you, while you write plate tectonics, you will write TECH, technology, tectonics, TECH. No, that is wrong. Plate tectonics, TECT. I hope you are able to follow the pattern here, right. So, let me see any queries you have, right. Any doubts you have, you can always ask us. We are here to explain your doubts. This is the basic concepts of plate tectonics. With this concept, you will now move towards the dimensions like how do you think that convergent plate boundary that divergent plate boundary happens. Imagine you see here, see initially the land was together, slowly the land will be drifting apart. As they drift apart, new ocean is created and slowly they drift, new age rocks are found here. This is the concept of seafloor spreading which led to the idea of divergent plate boundary. Why do you think that Atlantic Ocean is formed? It is formed like this. What is our objective? Our objective is to study the distributions of oceans and continents. This is how we are trying to understand. So, that is how the concept will be explaining. Okay. Plates are moving, they are drifting and they are having an impact. Right. Then when two plates move towards each other, what will happen? You see here, when two plates move, one will going into the other, which we call it as subduction. We will explain further. We will explain it further, and all these things will rise above. The this will melt here, and the melted things density is different from the surroundings, and it will rise and it will create a volcanic island arc. So, this is where you will find the trenches. So, this is about the convergent boundary. So, I will be trying to explain about all these things, about what is the dimension of the divergent, convergent, how does it happen, how new things are created and all in the Testbook app. Kindly log in and download the Testbook app. Go to UPSC section, you will find my name. Underneath my name, you can see a master class today at 6 p.m. that is December 7th, 6 p.m. a free class where I will be explaining about the further things about plate tectonics. I hope you all have understood this. You have got it, right? We will see the further discussion in the master class. Thank you for watching, and for more such videos, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and there will be also a Telegram channel link which will be providing you. Maybe if they have given in the description or not, I have to check. Otherwise, you will get to know about my Telegram channel as well tomorrow, where you can discuss the further updates. This is about the plate tectonics. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and hit the bell icon. Thank you.